be a free-roaming Indian, not having to be forced upon these reservations. And also there will be various members from the different bands of Lakota who also will not be forced upon this reservation, and who will also not sign this Fort Laramie Treaty of 1868. They'll all become free-roaming Indians. Now amongst them there will be a very charismatic warrior. He's also amongst them. He's a part of the Ogallala band of Lakotas. Now during this time we actually have, he'll be a free-roaming Indian, and rumors spread quickly about this charismatic warrior, and his name was of course Crazy Horse. He'll also be a free-roaming Indians amongst the Lakotas. Now during this time the Lakotas and Cheyennes are going to be fierce traditional tribal enemies. They've always had these feuds. So because of this, they'll actually band together and put aside their differences for a common goal to live freely as they once were. So as they do this, they create this huge encampment. And as they do that, they actually find a huge antelope herd that will lead them to the present day valley floor that you can see to the right of you. Now during this time, President Grant will actually see all these hostilities going on with these free-roaming Indians. He sees that there's battles going on in the Black Hills and battles going on in the Bozeman Trail. He'll take advantage of this and he'll create a law of the land, an edict, basically an ultimatum that says by January 31st, 1876, if there are any free-roaming Indians on this unceded territory not back on your designated reservations, you shall be deemed hostile and be engaged with by any means necessary. This encampment has no idea that this is the law of the land. And January 31st, 1876 comes around, and President Grant creates what they call a three-pronged pincher attack. Basically what this is three columns of soldiers headed by a general in search of these free-roaming Indians to get them back onto their designated reservations. One of the columns will be out from the east, heading out to the west, headed by the general whose name is Terry. Now keep this in mind, alongside with him will be Custer. The second column of soldiers will be from the west, heading out towards the east, headed by the general whose name is Gibbon. The last column of soldiers will be from the south, heading up to the north, headed by the general whose name is Crook. Now the first to leave of these column of soldiers will be Crook and his men. He'll leave on March 17th, 1876. March 17th, the day before my birthday, and also on St. Patrick's Day. It's a good way to remember that. They'll make their way out to Powder River. From there they'll engage in a battle with some warriors. They'll loot a lot of ammunition and supplies and head back down south to their fort. They'll regather more ammunition and supplies and head out a second time, making their way to the present day town of Lame Deer, a town on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation. It's 40 miles east of us. This battle will be called the Battle of the Rosebud, but do not mistake this Battle of the Rosebud for the Battle of the Rosebud in South Dakota. This battle only happened 8 days before the Battle of the Little Bighorn. Crook and his men will engage in battle with a band of warriors. Those same band of warriors will actually be a subgroup of this larger encampment, and they'll also be a part of this battle as well, so keep that in mind. Now this will be a day-long battle with very few casualties of only 10 to 15, both on the soldier and both on the warrior side. Now with this day-long battle with few casualties, both the soldier and the warrior believe that they're victorious. Either that or they're both horrible shots. Now during this time, Crook and his men will head back down south to